Sorry, okay.
And we're back.
And we're live.
And we're live. All right, guys. So this week on the Coach Chat episode, we're going to talk about a little supplement. One of the only supplements that I really do take is creatine.
Because there's so much trash out there.
There really is. Most supplements are trash. Let's just be honest, because they're just trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
You know, and the flashier they make it look, the more snake oil they can put in.
Yeah, and the FDA regulates 0% of the supplement industry. So we could like make a supplement in her garage, put a label on it, and if somebody would pick it up, we could distribute it.
Yeah.
And it's not tested. You don't know what's in it.
I mean, I wish we would just make a quick buck.
We could.
Maybe we should.
What do you?
Actually, I have more integrity than that.
Well, we could use your garage. You already made all kind of stuff in there.
Oh yeah, my Halloween decorations. That thing is going viral still.
It's a great video. If you haven't seen it, this one's going to go viral too, because what are we talking about today?
Oh, creatine. Sorry, back on track.
Creatine monohydrate.
Yes. This is one of those supplements that has been used for, I don't know, decades and decades. But then it's mostly been used in like the bodybuilding world and men, you know, well, I think naturally just because most people associate weightlifting with guys and, you know, whatever. But here in the recent, you know, years, decades and stuff, like lots of more women, it's being more mainstream to like lift weights and stuff, which is awesome. And it's one of those supplements that, you know, it's a natural supplement. It's not something that's got, especially if you're not using it with like other things, I guess, you know, that it's something that you can get from food. But it's something that you can add into your, you know, already your diet that is, you know, well-rounded with whole foods to help improve your exercise or the intensity of your workouts. Yeah,
and just the recovery aspect of it, the intensity aspect of it. Creatine, like honestly, it's one of the most studied supplements out there, like she already said. And we're going to give you just kind of the 30,000 foot view of it. We're not going to dive way deep down into all the details of it, but it's been studied so much that, like, I'm going to talk a little bit about the brain and how it works with the brain, and then Jamie's going to talk about a little bit of what it is and how it goes and works with the body. But you could dive down in this stuff, and it's like a miracle drug. It really is.
Get real nerdy with it.
Yeah, it's really nerdy about what it does and how it helps you in like peak contractions in the 10-second range, and they've studied it with all kinds of people, and it's safe. No matter what people say about this, like it's going to affect your liver, your kidneys, and blah, blah, blah. No. It's safe, man. Unless you have a really outstanding set of circumstances. Like we had a client once that had one kidney, and her doctor didn't want her to take it. That's the only time that I've ever heard them say that.
And that's with anything, though. Like if you have some kind of medical condition, like, you need to be aware of what's going to affect you. But if you're a healthy, normal individual with no pre-existing type of conditions and stuff like that, for the general public, it is a very safe, and you can't necessarily really overdo it. I mean, I know personally, we'll talk about dosage a little bit later after we talk about, you know, all the other things. But I mean, there's people that take just a little bit and for a long periods of time, and then there's some that can like load up on it. But I mean, but what is it? I mean, it's 3 amino acids. I can't remember what they are. But
I'll look. Keep talking. I'll look them up real fast. 3
amino acids. So essentially, you can get it from, you know, meats, any kind of animal proteins, red meat, fish. So that's why, you know, that's why we say you don't have to supplement with it, but it can give you a little leg up in your training specifically for recovery. And then if you're recovering, then you can put forth more intensity in your workout, which then will make you stronger, faster, harder to kill.
It's 3 amino acids. It's arginine, glycine, and then methionine. Which I probably mispronounced that, so whatever. But
anywho,
those. And you can't even see it.
But how does it work? So, like we said, creatine can come from your food, but what makes energy in our body, like what does our body use, is ATP.
From the old Krebs cycle back in high school.
So it's getting a little sciencey, a little nerdy, but essentially ATP is what your body uses for its energy source, and you create ATP through the food that you eat. And so whenever you have ATP, say you're working out, your muscles are using ATP to create your movement and you're using energy. Well, whenever you use that ATP, it breaks off one of the phosphates, and then it becomes ADP.
Yep.
And so then that's useless to you. You can't use that. Well, what happens when your muscles are saturated with creatine, with excess creatine, that ADP will borrow some phosphate, one of them, to bind to it and create ATP again.
Yep.
Without having to
go through the whole process again.
Yeah.
It's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
It's readily available energy. Like you said, it's missing
like,
one phosphate.
It's a reserve.
Yep.
Yeah. And so therefore, like if you're in your workout and you need more ATP,
it's sitting there.
It's sitting there ready to go. So then you've got your creatine, your saturated muscles with creatine. It gives a phosphate to that ADP, creates more energy for you to use, and thus you are able to do a higher intensity workout.
Yep.
And everybody knows that higher intensity or the more efficient and effective workout that you can do, the better, faster, stronger you will become.
Yep.
So that's why people take it.
Yep.
It's not a miracle thing.
You
It's
still
nothing.
have to put the work in.
Yeah, you still have to eat right. You still have to do the, type of training to create the change that you want. It's just something that gives you a little leg up whenever you are, at that threshold of like, okay, I'm here. What can I do to help push my workouts a little bit further without damaging yourself? You know, because it's all connected.
Yeah, it's not an anabolic at all.
Yeah, it's a recovery aid. It's a energy producing aid, but you still have to do those other things. It's not a one a pill or a powder to take that's gonna fix everything.
No.
But the other thing is, like, a lot of people, like we touched on this, is it safe?
Yeah, it's been out for decades, man.
Yeah.
Decades and decades.
And then the other thing is when to take it. Now, me personally, I take 5 grams every day. I don't remember to take it after my workout, so I take it in the morning. That just works for my brain. Now, as far as like absorption and stuff, most people would argue that like post-workout would be the time to take it, just because that's the window when your muscles are like more primed to absorb even like energy. So like post-workout meals are important.
Yeah, if you pair it with carbs, it'll help shuttle it faster. But most of the research, like what you were saying, like you just take yours.
It's consistency.
Most of the research just says, please just take it. That's about it. It doesn't really say that the post-workout window is that much more effective than like, oh crap, I forgot to take this. You just take it at lunch.
And it's like with anything, consistency matters.
Yeah.
And so there's no hard rule, but if you were wanting to be like a real stickler to like the best possible time to take it,
45 minutes to an hour after your workout.
Yeah. And then, but really when it comes to creatine working or being saturated, like building up your creatine in your body, it takes a little while. I mean, like for me, I'm not going to take like a ton. So I'm taking the 5 grams as like a teaspoon. And so it's going to take a few weeks or maybe like up to a month or something to like saturate your muscles. But I think people have like doubled up or tripled up.
So
like
when it first came out and I was taking it, they were really huge on the science, said that there was a loading dose that you needed to take. And then again, about a year or two later, they would say, hey, do a loading dose of double or if not triple. So we would take 15 to 20 grams a day, and you did that for 2 weeks, and then you could go back to the maintenance dose of 5 grams per day. Well, then the science came out and was like, just take it for 5 grams per day for longer, and you're fine.
Forever.
They were just using that as a marketing tool to get rid of more product. So that was basically it. So what she said, of 5 grams per day for around 30 days, but really just take it.
Then I've taken it like, now I have gone through periods of time where like I've taken it for like 2 years, and then, well, I'll just be honest, like when COVID hit, like just kind of like everything went out the door, and I got out of that habit of taking it because our schedules got so crazy. But then once I got back on it, I did lose some water weight. That's another thing that we can hit on. A lot of people are like, oh my God, it makes me puffy, it makes me, whatever. It doesn't actually make you like your skin like hold into water. It's your muscles.
Yeah, they fill up.
Yeah, it hydrates your muscles, so
Yeah.
your muscle cells get more hydrated, which in itself is what also helps you.
And the recovery side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's great.
So if you want like a bigger muscle pump, and I guess that's why guys probably like it,
One of the reasons I liked it,
is that it gives you a bigger muscle pump.
you are literally bigger because when you take creatine, you'll put on
Yeah.
a couple. Sometimes the girls don't flip out. Like you'll put on 1 to 2 pounds of water weight because your muscles are holding more water. It is not fat.
You will
at all.
when you first start taking it, you will feel like you're kind of
Bloated,
puffy.
a little bit
You know,
puffy.
but that's just because girls are more sensitive too, and
Yeah.
depending on where you are in your cycle, you're going to be bloated anyways. But so it's something that you got to get in your head, that you have to understand that it's not fat. It's just that your body's holding on to a little bit more water in your muscles, which is going to help you recover from workouts, which is going to help you push harder in workouts, which then is going to help you get the body and physique that you want.
Ta-da! All part of it.
So it's all the process. You just have to go through some mind
Yeah. So
mind
the
games.
brain retraining.
Yeah.
So she's talking about the
Yeah.
body and the muscles, and again, we're not going to go down the crazy science road, but so your brain only makes up 2% of your total body mass, but it uses 20% of the energy in your body, and that's at rest. So like when you're sleeping and your brain is carrying on all the functions to recover, keeping your heart
heal
beating,
your body.
and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, it is using energy. So creatine can be used to help with that 20% of the energy burn that you need. Because like Jamie was saying earlier, it's readily available energy, missing one phosphate, hanging out in your bloodstream. We kind of think of it as like a buffet. Do you want your buffet at nighttime to be empty, or do you want it to be full? So if you're taking creatine, it keeps a full buffet rocking and
Yeah.
rolling. So it can be used as a reserve of energy, or kind of like as an energy buffer, being ready to rock and roll. It can also act as a shuttle. So ATP, what she was talking about earlier, creatine can kind of slip in and out of cells a little bit faster than ATP. So it makes it a little bit quicker for things to happen. And again, so if you're doing something that's very complicated, like doing a hard workout, and then
High
afterwards in the
intensity
day
or-
it's high intensity, and then after that workout's over, I've got to go do a really thoughtful paper, like if you're in college, or I've got to parent my kids and not lose my cool because of brain fog. Creatine can help with that big time.
Yeah.
Just because of cognitive function. It's readily available energy.
I need more brain credits.
So
I
if
take
you're-
all I can get.
If
Like,
you're
give
running
me-
low, creatine is again like that cheat code that you can have there that'll help you out. So think of it as like rocket fuel for your brain. You know, it
Oh,
can act as a
man.
shuttle and buffer of energy and like a little bit of reserve, but then also can go in and out of cells kind of faster than the natural processes of your body. So again, like most studied supplement out there on planet Earth is creatine monohydrate. Should you take it?
Yes.
So what was your tagline that you were going to end with?
Oh, eat meat, make muscles.
Eat meat and make muscles.
Well, because creatine comes from meat,
Yeah.
and if it's like, rocket fuel for your brain, eat meat, make muscles, and live longer.
And be harder to kill.
Yeah. Just trying to, be awesome in general. So,
And the type that we're talking about is creatine monohydrate.
Yeah.
Do not buy any other kind.
it's not mixed with anything.
No. It's pure white powder.
Yeah, and one brand that I take is Naked Creatine.
Naked is great.
And it's
because
just,
it is no BS.
You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, it comes straight to your dope.
Take it every single day. That and coffee.
Yes.
That's about the only supplements besides magnesium.
Caffeine, magnesium, and creatine.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, we'll do another episode on
Yes.
all of those.
Yeah.
One on coffee.
They're beneficial. They help a
Yeah,
lot.
one on magnesium. All right, guys. Well, that will wrap it up for this week's episode. We'll see y'all again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.